Hello friends, I'm your host GJ and we will be covering an interesting European country, Belgium. Belgium is a country that is shaped by many different influences. Best known for waffles and chocolate, well, it is more than waffles and chocolate and is surely a fascinating country. Before we start our journey of Belgium, my request to you all to subscribe my channel and like all my videos. Thank you everybody. Let's get back to the show. Let us start with the flag. Belgium has three equal vertical bands of black, hoist side, yellow, and red. The vertical design was based on the flag of France. The colors are those of the coat of arms of the Duchy of Brabant, the yellow lion with red claws, and the tongue on a black field. Keep in mind, do not mistake the Belgian flag with the German flag. The Belgian flag is black, yellow, red, not the black, red, yellow German flag. Let us see the map, shall we? Belgium is located in Western Europe, bordering Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, and France. Belgium is divided into three regions: Flanders, Wallonia, and Brussels. Each of the Flanders and Wallonia regions have five provinces. Brussels does not belong to Flanders, even though it is completely engulfed in Flanders. And there is a French county called the Brussels-Halle-Vilvoorde, which is a French zone, even though it's in Flanders. Then you have the German-speaking minority located at the border of Germany, who are making proposition of a new province. Still with me? Okay, we get it. The capital is Brussels. However, the largest city is the port city of Antwerp, located at the English Channel. And the second and the third largest city are Ghent and Charleroi. Meanwhile, Brussels is the fifth largest city. Belgium has lots of weird borders and boundaries. First of all, there are five German enclaves near the border of Germany. Then you reach Berlin, Nassau, Hertog. There are 22 Belgian enclaves in the Netherlands and 8 Dutch enclaves in Belgium and 7 counter enclaves which are even more crazy. And if you look at this image, you realize how confusing it is. Belgium has lots of monuments that one must visit, such as the La Grande Palace, the Atomium, the Palace of Justice, Royal Palace of Brussels, Brussels Cathedral, the Basilica of Sacred Heart, the Royal Park of Brussels, and finally there's lots of World War I and World War II memorials. Okay, let us talk about Belgium's physical geography. Belgium has three physical zones. One is the coast, second is the center hills, third is the mountains and Ardennes. The coast is mostly of sand dunes and polders. Polders are lands reclaimed by the sea, which are protected by dikes. But I made it when Belgium was mine, and then made dikes there. Oh yeah, right. I forgot to mention dikes and Dutch. Then there's the center hills. This is a smooth, slowly rising area that has many fertile valleys and is irrigated by many waterways. Then Ardennes, which is more rugged than other two regions. It is a thickly forested plateau, very rocky and not good for farming, which extends into the northern France and in Germany, when it is named Eiffel. This is where much of Belgium's wildlife can be found, and the highest point, Signal de Bertrange, which is 694 meters high. Not that high though. By the way, there's a staircase for some reason. Bruh, just wait for my episode. The Meuse is the longest river in Belgium, spanning 575 miles, and is shared by the Belgium and the Netherlands. Now, food time. Belgium is famous for its food. Belgian waffles is well known around the world. Waffles were actually invented in Belgium. Belgium also has one of the world's best chocolate that competes with Switzerland. And finally, French fries were first made in, Belgium, not France. The name obviously is deceiving you. Okay, let's talk about the people. Belgium has 11.7 million people as of 2020. 58% of the population are Flemish and 31% of the population is Walloon or Belgian French, and 11% of the population are others like Congolese, Arabic, etc. They use the euro because they are a part of the European Union. We'll talk about that in the economic section. Since 1993, Belgium is a federal state divided into regions and communities. Belgium is a constitutional monarchy, which means the king and the parliament have both powers in the government, even though the king has less powers. Belgium has became a monarchy in 1831 after the independence. Okay, let us talk about history. Gauls lived in Belgium and then Romans came. Fast forward after the Roman Empire collapsed, it became a part of the Carolingian Empire. Various wars and vassals happened between France and Germany. Tell something fun. Yeah, I will. The 8 Years' War, 1568 to 1648, divided the Low Countries in the northern United Province of the Dutch Republic and the southern Netherlands, which were ruled by the Spanish and Austrian Habsburg. These made up most of modern Belgium. In the Napoleonic Wars, France occupied Belgium until the Battle of Waterloo. Belgium gained independence in 1830. Belgium started to colonize countries, especially in the Congo. Well, King Leopold created a free state. Wait, what is a free state? Oh yeah, well, it means King Leopold II owns Congo, not the Belgian government. Actually, millions of Congolese people will die during his reign. 1914, World War I started. Germany invaded Belgium. Belgium got Eupen Malmedy after the war. However, the war destroyed much of their infrastructure and economy. World War II was a repeat of World War I and it was invaded and occupied by Germany. Allies liberated Belgium in 1944 after a few famous battles like the Battle of Bulge and the Ardennes. Belgium became a part of the EU and NATO and hold their excuse. Comics are actually very famous in Belgium, like Smurfs and Tintin, which I have read all of their 24 books. Man, really good comics. But we'll talk about that later. Let us learn about economy. Belgium's strongly globalized economy and its transport infrastructure are integrated with the rest of the Europe. They also are part of the European Union. Also, with this location at the heart of a highly developed region, it helped it become the world's 15th largest trading nation in 2007. The economy is characterized by a highly productive workforce, high GNP, and high exports per capita. Belgium's main imports are raw materials, machinery and equipment, chemicals, raw diamonds, pharmaceuticals, transportation equipment and oil products. Its main exports are machinery and equipment, chemicals, finished diamonds, metals and metal products and harvest. You would be surprised to know that Belgium is super good in glass manufacturing. Oh, and remember the exploitation of Congo? Well, actually, Belgium extracted most of the diamonds in the Congo. The main exports of Belgium are to Germany, France, Belgium, and the main imports are from Netherlands, Germany, and France. Facts. Number 1. Belgium holds the world's record for the longest period without a government. I am sure this one will ring a bell if you follow the news. The world's record for a democratic nation to be without an elected government is held by Belgium, which lasted for 589 days in 2010 and 11. Number 2, the Zaventem Airport of Brussels sells the most chocolate in the world. On average, 1.6 kgs of chocolate is being sold per minute. Impressive, isn't it? Number 3. Robert Caillou, co-inventor of the World Wide Web, is a Belgian. Most of us know that World Wide Web was developed in CERN in Switzerland. What we don't know normally, is by whom. It was actually by an English scientist called Tim Berners-Lee. But did you know that it would have not been possible had he not received from his help with his Belgian colleague Caillou? Well, thanks to them if you're reading this. Number 4. Cricket is thought to be a Belgian invention, not British. Academics believe immigrants from North Belgium imported the game from Britain based on a poem that they are thought to written in 1533 that calls Femic Weaver's killing of crickets. Also mention wickets, predating English reference dating to the 1600s. Oh, I definitely did not know that. 5. Napoleon's bid for European domination ended at the Battle of Waterloo in Belgium. After conquering much of continental Europe in the early 19th century, French military leader and Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in 1815 by Allied forces, ending the Napoleonic era of European history, Napoleonic War, and the Napoleon's 100 Days reign. Visitor can see Napoleon's and other war artifacts at the site today. Number 6, it rarely snows. While in the Ardennes region, snow precipitations occur on 30 to 35 days. The Flanders sees fewer than 15 days of snow on average. The seacoast gets even less snow. This temperate maritime climate makes Belgium good for traveling during most of the year. Bringing an umbrella won't hurt though. Number 7. Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world. Belgium's second largest city might not be as famous as Brussels, but it boasts a rich history uh, and prides itself on being the diamond capital of the world. In fact, nowadays the city polishes and shapes 85% of the world's rough diamonds before they go to stores. Insane, isn't it? Number 8. It was the first country in continental Europe to undergo the Industrial Revolution. But what is the Industrial Revolution? Well, in the 19th century, people started to build machines and extract irons and stuff. In the early 19th century, Belgium became the first country to join the ranks of the British Empire where the Industrial Revolution began. Cities of Liège and Charleroi quickly developed in mining and steelmaking. The industry thrived until the Second World War and made Belgium one of the three most industrialized countries in the world from the 1830s until the 1910s. Number 9. We owe the Big Bang Theory to a Belgium. That's certainly amongst the most interesting facts about Belgium. Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian priest, used to use Albert Einstein's revolutionary theory of general relativity or cosmology. In 1927, Lemaitre developed the Big Bang theory at the Catholic University Leuven. In 1933, Einstein and Lemaitre went to California to attend a series of seminars. After Georges Lemaitre shared his theory with the participants, Einstein stood up and clapped and supposedly said, "This is the most detailed and a satisfactory explanation of creation which I have ever listened to." That is my friends about Belgium. I hope you liked it. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Next country will be Brazil.